Hi everyone, it's Calvin from the future, and this is just a quick note to talk about some of the subject matter that's going to be happening in this video. If you don't want the video to kind of be spoiled in a way, you should probably skip to this timestamp on the screen right now. Go to this time in the video if you can. Pause now if you have to, because I feel like I still need to talk about this stuff because some people are watching this game without knowing what the game is beforehand, so they might not know what's going to be happening in this video. But anyway, there was talks of self-harm and suicide in this video and in the next video as well. And there'll probably be a lot of talk about that going forward too. But I just wanted to let you guys know that, just in case there's anyone out there who has been affected by that in any serious way or in any way whatsoever. I just wanted you guys to know that because I didn't want you guys to get a surprise by this and then to feel upset about it. Or be, I guess, in a way affected by it. Thank you. Enjoy the video. So we're doing truth bullets. Make your argument with what? Footprints in the powder. Chem lab shelf source of the powder. Okay, hold on a second.
First I went to section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
Footprints in the powder source of... I don't think these... The footprints is the only thing that could matter.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
But the biggest thing is like the movement from section A to section C.
I moved
if we can find one with that.
C to section A.
I shouldn't have shot. I should have listened to what they said. That's my bad. It's okay though.
Once I was done switching them, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in section A. Then I took the bottle with the poison in it and left the chem lab.
Let's try. I think that's what we're gonna have to shoot though with the footprints in the powder. Yeah.
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate this?
Pikachu has a bit.
In the chem lab, where were the footprints and what direction were they facing? Those. Yeah, they do. They do. We'll get it. We'll get it.
I went to section C.
Hina.
That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Okay, and then?
I moved from section
C to section A.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong.
You said you went to get the poison from section C, and that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah? What about it?
And after that, you said you moved from section C to section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from section C to section A. That contradicts what you just said.
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements?
No, that can't be it. Remember what Hina just said?
I didn't notice that left the footprint. Yeah, so they didn't even yeah, they said that. Hina did say that.
What the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
Oh, well, Bakugo, just zip it.
Well...
You lied to us. Plain and simple.
Yep, 100%.
If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious. The powder had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to section A. So you never went to section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved section A.
Yeah, we said this too.
Well, you see...
Wait, so if Tagami didn't notice this, that means I'm smarter than Tagami, for real. It's done.
What the hell? What's going on here?
Tagami, zip it. I know what's going on. Kyoko knows what's going on. Yo, this is smart people time. You can calm down.
And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account.
I'm bopping my head along to this music. I love it, by the way.
Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
New evidence? Impossible. There can't be.
Move to add this to the record, please.
Are you sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me.
Yeah.
Did?
Oh, look at this. We're gonna change your name to Baka Hero.
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me. I'm amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
That's what happens when you pretend to be smart for a whole game.
Just say it already. What is it you think you found?
I love how frustrated he is. Because through the whole game, he's constantly been pushing people along and being like, if you insist, oh, you didn't know that? And now he's frustrated because he doesn't understand something, which, by the way, is great character writing. It's great character writing to have the character who like is so composed when he feels like he's on top, but as soon as he gets a little bit off edge and someone knocks him off his pedestal, even a tiny bit, even an inch, he acts like this. It's freaking great. And again, people compare. I said some people didn't want me comparing him to Light Yagami, but I'll compare him in this way. Light was kind of similar in a way because I think Light's smarter and Light's a better character, a better person, I should say. No, that's bad. I know I don't like Yagami, but like Light committed genocide. So like, no, we won't say that. But I think that like Light is more interesting as a person. But when Light was even like knocked off his pedestal even a tiny bit, or even was cut out even a tiny bit, you saw how he would act. He would almost like struggle to keep his composure, and in this way, it's really cool that they're doing this. Huh, a piece of glass.
It had sunk to the bottom of the bottle, and the hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder. I couldn't have solved the mystery without you. So, thank you for that.
But what is it?
Oh, you still don't realize?
Oh, she is told.
Well,
she's
then.
Tagamiing him.
Makoto, why don't you explain it?
She's still Tagamiing this guy.
Huh? Me?
Fine. If you really do know, explain the meaning of that shard of glass.
The shard of light blue glass Kyoko found in the bottle of poison. I think I remember now. I broke something the same shade of blue. The rec room window.
I got it! It's part of the window from the
Wait,
rec room
what?
door, right?
Wait, what?
The window?
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that.
And this was on
So I
top
think
of the
that
glass.
Must be it.
You're right. It must be. Of course, that leads to another question. How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
This is actually super good.
Think about that.
What's strange is that, according to what Hina told us,
Where was it the bottle of poison should have been when I broke the rec room window? According to what Hina told us. She put it back on section A of the shelf or section C of the shelf? Right? She put it back on one of the shelves?
the bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you said, right, Hina?
So it being, yeah. So it was there in the room at the time.
And yet, somehow a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got moved back to the shelf in the chem lab.
Wait a second though, if this wasn't Hina, why would Ogami drink the drink? And not only that, how did the bottle must have been in the room when the glass is broken, which means that we still have the locked door, which is still a mystery. My thing was, I remember I was saying it, I thought that Ogami thought she was going to die, so locked the door so that she could die in peace, and then sat down in the chair. But that doesn't explain absolutely everything.
Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there. That had to be after the locked room was opened. In other words, after Sakura died.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast.
Oh, really? Try to keep up there, Tagami, okay? Try to keep up there, buddy, okay?
I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked. But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked?
Hey, try to keep up, buddy. Try to keep
We
up.
already know she was given the protein can with the poison inside, right? If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
You're right. We do need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
Huh?
It has to do with the protein can. After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
But how is anyone going to remember
What
this,
are
though?
you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your
I
ability.
love seeing Tagami like this.
Well, no, not that I remember.
It's okay. It's okay. Hiro might be able to explain to you later. I'll get him to explain to you later. I'll get a notepad out.
Yeah, Me either.
Not me.
Same here. Yeah, me either.
Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room was opened.
Oh, come on!
This
How can
case
you say
is
that?
chunky. In a good way.
How can you know what I don't know?
Because you've never been smart. Ever. The reason she can say that is because there's evidence. There's proof that someone brought the protein can to the rec room after it was open. Is there? Empty protein drink source of the power of Chem Lab shelf. What?
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No. No, that's impossible.
Is it?
It had to have been in there the whole time.
Humph.
It had to be. It was in there before the rec room was unlocked.
Well, the reason why I'm kind of thinking that maybe it's because it was sitting on the glass. If it was in there beforehand, the glass would be on top of it. Yeah, the broken window.
When it
So do
comes
we
to
shoot
that
the
protein
room was unlocked with the
There's
empty
not a
protein
doubt
drink?
in my mind.
Or is there something else with the Chem Lab shell? So no,
Until
yeah,
the
that's right.
locked room was unlocked, it
Because-
absolutely was not in there.
I know they focused on this as well when we were
saying-
looking at this.
Someone planted it there after we got the door open?
They focused
No.
on this when we were doing
No, that's
this.
impossible. It had to have been in there the whole time.
Humph.
It had to be.
It was in there before the rec room was unlocked.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong.
And I don't know if they're going to use the same reasoning as me, but my whole idea around it is because the glass
You
was
remember how
under
there
the
was
bottle.
broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Of course. It came from the window you broke to get in. What about it?
What about it, Bagagu? Calm down. Zip
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around.
They were also
protein.
under it.
We also found pieces underneath the can,
What?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
and this proves it. It shows that the can must have been put down on the floor after the window was broken.
It's
So
crazy.
it had to be after we got into the room.
Yeah, kuh.
I see. So that's your explanation.
See, now that he sees that it is reasonable, he's going to try and calm down a bit, you know, to try and, like, get back to being
Kyoko,
Tagami.
Earlier, when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it,
If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right out of the gate.
And that's made everything clear, hasn't it? As long as it was a locked room, it only contained the bottle of poison, and not the protein can. But once the room was opened up, they were switched, and as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
if that's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison?
Yeah, that's the big question for me too, actually.
I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
The only other explanation for why Sakura would have drank it, if it wasn't Hina, she wouldn't drink something that Genocide Jill gave her, or Hiro, or anyone else would have given her. Don't tell me she drank it herself. No, I refuse. There has to. But who else would have given it to her? Because he wouldn't do it because they wouldn't trust him. Hiro wouldn't even think to do something like that. Toko wouldn't be brave enough to do something like that.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Jesus Christ.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there?
You're saying she drank it knowing what it was? Such a ridiculous fiction is...
Exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Then tell us already. Sorry. Please, tell us.
Oh, he's saying please. Actually say please, sir. Thank you, Takami. Thank you.
Before we get to that,
Thank you, Takami,
we
for
need
this.
to clarify one other thing.
He makes me into a gremlin.
We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room.
It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it
I think we're gonna say it was Agami, right?
What do you think, Makoto?
The one who got the poison from the chem lab and brought it to the rec room. It had to have been.
I got it!
That's my thought. That's my thought process now.
Sakura herself.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself? What are you talking about? There's no way!
On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab.
This is
right
horrible
to the
if
section full
true.
of poisons.
You're lying! Stop lying! Why? Why would you lie like that?
Well, it's not nice. Sakura definitely went to Section C. Kyoko already showed me the evidence I need. Now I have to hit Hina with that to make her accept it. I think Hina is covering for Sakura at this point as well, but if this is the case, this is truly a horrible moment. Oh, okay, okay.
You're a liar!
Wait, how do you reload again? I just want to make sure that we realize this. Square to reload. Okay, so I was pressing a different button.
Insane! Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you!
This is horrible to see.
You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong!
I have to pick a word. Yellow powder, right?
To prove Sakura took the poison?
This should prove it.
And Hina's like, I know, like, there's like in some cases, especially, I think at this time, there was still a big stigma against doing stuff like this to yourself as well.
It did?
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the
Right,
shelf
yeah.
in the chem lab. That powder was yellow, wasn't it? So the powder we found on Sakura, what else could it be but the powder from the chem lab?
Wait. So, what was that powder doing on Ogre's foot?
And it was only on her instep, right?
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura. And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually standing. Which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself. But the powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instep. Is there any problem with my thinking?
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first place?
Sorry for not speaking as much, guys. This is just, if this is where I think it's going, it actually is kind of upsetting.
The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After
No! It was me! The poison! Because I killed her!
I don't believe that, Hina.
No, you didn't kill her.
Don't want to do the connection between Sakura and the poison unsolved mystery of this locked room. There's only one way to explain it. Yeah. Look at your face. I don't even have time to be joking out with this one though. This is kind of
Here's my answer. The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
exactly that. Exactly that. Ga. We're doing a big ga.
What? The killer was Sakura?
Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it any more than I believe I can fly.
I can't believe it either. Or rather, I don't
That's the thing,
want
don't want
believe
to is where I am. I 100% believe it. The evidence points to it. I think even us, we were saying something similar, but I didn't think it was suicide. But, you know, like we were saying something like
But
this
when you
similar.
really think about it, Sakura went and got the poison. She
Yeah, it
barricaded
makes
herself
perfect
in a
sense.
room, and she drank it, all so she could end her own life. And that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery of the locked room.
Because Sakura wanted to create the locked room. Yeah, no, we're not blaming. I'd love to blame Tagami for this, but this is something that's too serious to even joke about.
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she
Yeah,
did.
that makes perfect sense, actually.
She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath.
It's so horrible to think about. I'm gonna put, and I know it's not a lot, but I'm gonna put some like I don't even know if I can do that without YouTube just blocking the videos in some cases, but please know that there is like, I know this is a different case altogether, but like you don't have to feel strong all the time. It especially when shit gets tough. Feeling it's not weakness to not only obtain help but ask for help. It's actually like incredibly strong. So please do that for me if you ever would like to do something for me. Thank you.
And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room until we came and opened it. At that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of the room.
It feels so weird us doing this as like a big case. It's like this is someone's life that just ended, and
wasn't it, Hina?
It hits home even more with this.
You did it to throw off the investigation, didn't you? When we found her body, you stayed right there near the door. Because you already knew Sakura was dead. And because the bottle of poison had rolled near the doorway.
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything. And Kyoko was busy checking the body.
And the more I think about it, the more I realize how unusual your actions were.
I have to go get them. I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the room. Yeah, she would have stayed there with
You said you were going
Ogami.
to go get everyone else, but your real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the
Yeah, and she would have stayed with Ogami right away. Like, no problem.
Once you were at the chem lab, you headed straight to the section where the protein powder was kept. There, you took the powder and poured it into the bottle of poison you'd grabbed from the rec room. When you left the lab, all you had was the empty protein can. Thinking about it like that, the footprints make perfect sense.
When you were done, you gathered everyone together. And once you were back in the rec room...
I got everyone. So she probably took a little bit longer as well.
While everyone else was focused on Sakura, you quietly placed the can on the ground. Honestly, I should have noticed. You should have been the first one to run up to Sakura's lifeless body. The Hina I know never would have left her side.
I never
in a
even thought about
situation
that,
like
but it's strange. Yeah, it is when you think about it in this situation.
So, Sakura committed suicide. In order to hide this fact, Hina undertook a series of actions to undermine the investigation. As long as you could disguise the truth, you didn't care if we blamed you for her death. That's why you didn't bother to get rid of such obvious evidence, right? The footprints in the powder and the bottle of poison? Vital pieces of evidence, and yet...
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it look like she killed Sakura?
No.
This is so difficult. This is so difficult.
No. No.
Oh, Hina.
I killed her. I did it.
That's enough, Hina. It's over.
It's not. Nothing's over.
It is. Actually, no. You're right. You have to end this properly.
Yeah, we have to do the frickin', Here we go. We have to. We have to do this. Of all things, man, the stuff with Hina and Sakura has been one of the most amazing stories I think told in this game. I think that the relationship is absolutely fantastic. So we have the reading of the notes. So this crazy Ooh, look at this. So she woke up, I think, and that's when she saw Sakura's face, she said. What's happening in the next one? She's hiding, looking out. Is that when she went into the locker? But is it this one or this one then? No, that looks like she's peeking out. So pick this one, I suppose? So Sakura's like waiting there. Hiro shows up with the candy. The bottles are all there. Hiro falls against the bottle? Goes to attack Ogami. Oh my god. So he hits her. And that's when he writes the Toko thing, right? Then he runs for it. That's when she peeks out. I'm coming back to this one because I'm not quite sure which one we're going to pick for that just yet. Well, we could pick this because it shatters, I suppose. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. Put the magazine upside down. But then she wakes up. And then she goes to hit her again. So she... But then do we pick the shattered pieces here, or do we... What's next? Well, this one here, after she puts the magazine back on the rack. Like, what do we pick from there? Oh, just, I guess this upside down. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So yeah, she turned back into Toko, and then that's when it happened. She grabbed the bottle, and then... Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Okay, sorry, 1 second. Right? Because this one has a knight in it. That would have been a very silly mistake. Then we have Act 5. She woke up. I think at this point she realized it was probably more hassle than it was worth. Is it the chem stuff? It's either this one or... But her hand's clean in this one, her hand's bloody in that one. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that, like, yeah, let's do this. That's when we found the body. Looked inside, we came inside. Saw the dead body. We saw this on the ground. Is that when she put the protein shake down there? Do we have a protein shake? Or would no, because the protein would be here. No? But then we have this, which is we're not using. We're not using this either. The candy we're not using either. And we're not using this, so the only one left is this one. The chem bottle. Right? Okay, let's go through this again. This one I was sure of, like, the other ones. I find these actually be pretty easy enough, like, they're fun. Look, if we're wrong. We can reload our save, it's fine. I'm okay with this. Let's do it.
This case began when Sakura asked a number of people to meet her in the rec room.
I'm gonna auto this. Because I think it flows better that way.
Specifically, those people were Hiro, Toko, and Byakuya. But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others, Toko. She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot.
I'm so worried about getting one of these wrong now, though. Well, yeah, that's right. Okay, they're fine.
And she found it. She crawled into the locker to get out of sight. Then, from inside the locker, she saw Sakura enter the room. Next to arrive was Hiro. When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was going to try to kill him.
With the candy. Hiro there is really handsome.
Without thinking, he grabbed a nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Sakura with it. Thinking he'd killed her, he hastily began covering up his crime. He took a magazine from the table.
I love that he blamed
and
Toko
forged
as well.
A dying message from Sakura. To that end, he wrote down a name. Toko. By writing her name, he was hoping to pin the murder on her. But of course, Toko had witnessed the whole thing. So as soon as the coast was clear, she jumped out of the locker and hid the magazine on the shelf with all the others. But in her rush, she made one little mistake. She put the magazine back upside down. Soon after, she watched as Sakura slowly opened her eyes. She also saw the blood.
It's really
dripping off
difficult for me. Like,
Sakura's
I'm sorry
head
that I'm not saying
and
as much
face.
this time, guys, but like, it's really difficult for me because this is like,
This caused her personality to switch back over
like
to
no one's
Genocide
really to.
Jack.
You can't really even blame
When she
the characters who
woke
were
back
like
up,
blaming her and stuff.
second
So
personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura. And she freaked out. And just like Hiro, she grabbed another Monokuma bottle and attacked her. This explains why there were 2 wounds on Sakura's head. Assuming Sakura really was dead this time, she set about disposing of the evidence. She gathered up the broken Monokuma bottle shards and the queen chess piece. And that explains how Sakura was attacked twice with the same type of weapon. But even after those 2 blows, she was still alive.
yeah, my explanation, I think she probably thought like
So
this
then,
is
what
not
was
worth
Sakura's actual
this?
cause of death? It was the poison that Sakura herself got from the chem lab. She turned the rec room into a true locked room scenario, and then drank the deadly mixture. And there, she took her final breath. Later on, the rest of us discovered that her body was in there. We had to smash the door's window to get inside. But someone already knew what had happened, knew that she had committed suicide. And that same someone quietly snatched the bottle
which
of poison
we're
from
thinking
off
is
the
Hina.
ground. And while nobody was looking,
Well, Hina won't get punished for
replaced
this
it with an
though,
empty protein can.
right? Like it would
They
be
did all
totally
this
bullshit if she got
specifically to
punished.
place all the suspicion on themselves, in an attempt to guide the trial to a false conclusion.
It would be totally
And the
ridiculous
one
if she
who
got
went
punished.
to all that effort.
I love the illustrations at the end of this as well.
That's the full truth of the case. Sakura took her own life, and you claim to be the killer to hide that fact. Isn't
And
that
that's the thing, I
right?
understand that it was dangerous of Hina to do what she did.
That's what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened, Tagami.
But, Makoto, how did you...
It's just you have to, you know, you have to get past primary school. You know, we learned this stuff in like when we're 5.
How did you manage to... How were you able to uncover the truth that even I couldn't discern?
Because main character powers, friend.
Huh? Oh, well, I mean,
You still haven't realized? We don't all act according to calculations and cost-benefit diagrams.
Oh my
That's what
god,
makes us so
yes,
complicated.
Kyoko. Yes.
That's what you don't understand. And that's why you couldn't solve this case.
That's such a good point. It's like the people who go like, you're losing this argument because you're not being logical, and it's like you can't understand this argument because you're being too logical. If you get what I'm saying, like, To understand people isn't to be logical most times.
See? Didn't I tell you? When you dismiss other people's feelings, it'll always come back to bite you in the end.
Kyoko, yes, Kyoko, get him.
That's so awesome, Kyoko. Well done. There we go. A. This is our best case yet, I think. This is legit our best case yet. I think you guys would agree.